Gonna try something a little new with y'all today. I am going to take y'all along with me as I make some cakes. This recipe right here, this is from one of Paul Hollywood's bread books. If you know Paul Hollywood, you know that his thing is bread. And I love the Great British Bake Off, so I have many books of recipes of his and Mary Berry and various other contestants and winners from Bake Off. But today we are making tea cakes, so I wanted to take you along with me and we're just gonna go through it. I might not do a whole lot of talking, so just come along for the ride with me. All right, I have most of my ingredients pulled out already, so don't be surprised if I just magically have them here or if I do a little meandering around the kitchen. All right, 2 grams, there we go. Okay, now I need to do the salt and the sugar, 5 grams of salt. Then I need 40 grams. Something to help me see. 40 grams. Alrighty, next is the cinnamon and the butter. The cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. Almost out of cinnamon. That's like half. And that's like the other half. Okay. Alright. Now it wants our butter softened. I was not that much of a forward thinker. And it says 50 grams, and I know that 1 stick of butter is about 110 grams. So I'm just gonna cut this stick of butter in half, microwave it for a second, and we will call it good. would tap on the butter, but that feels a little messy. I'm going to microwave this now. I'm going to mute that or cut it out because it might be a little loud. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Back with the butter. Got the yeast out of the fridge. I think this should be enough, but if it's not, I have another thing of yeast, so. Alrighty. The butter is a little closer to melted than softened, but that's okay. So I want this to go on this side. Alrighty. That can go off to the side. And now all that's left is the yeast and the butter. Well, butter, water. All that's left for this stage. So I need the recipe right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it calls for 20 grams of yeast. My grandpa was a baker, and he always taught me to put a little extra yeast. If we were measuring tablespoons or something, he would say to always do a heaping tablespoon. Don't level it out, always use a little more. So I'm probably going to use closer to somewhere between 20 to 25 grams of yeast. And I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the yeast, so I put my salt over here. I'm going to make sure that I put my yeast on this side of the bowl so the salt doesn't kill the yeast. Look at that. I have to go get the other thing of yeast from the fridge. It's empty. Empty, empty, empty. These are cute little jars though. Very handy. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Come on, you. Thank you. Brand new. There's the seal. Okay. Oh. Thank you. Apparently yeast is 0 calories. Alrighty. So now all that's left is the water. And I have made this recipe enough times to where I know what the dough should feel like. So I'm not going to measure the water. Here I have about 2 cups, just under 2 cups of water. This is going to be way too much water. So I'm not going to pour it all in at once. I'm going to pour it in bit by bit, mix it in with my hands, start kneading the dough. And once everything comes together, then it's done. first I'm gonna move a few things out of my way so that I can have a little more space to knead the dough. So give me a second. All right, we are back. We have all of these ingredients in the bowl, and we're ready to start adding our water. I'm gonna add just about that much. I want to say that was probably a little over 100 milliliters. And we just start mixing. If you are not a fan of wet sounds, this might not be the part of the video for you. So the bread or the dough has now come together to form a ball. So we need to keep kneading it, and you can either coat your working surface with flour or oil in some cases. I actually kind of prefer oil, so I'm gonna just get a little bit of vegetable oil, put it on the countertop, and then we'll keep going. So give me a second. All right. So I don't know if you can really tell, but there's some oil now on the countertop. And now we just knead. That was, I have my rice cooker going in the background, so my rice is done. Kind of repetitive, but I like it. Almost meditative. I like to test the bread or the dough to see if I've kneaded it long enough with a little window pane test. Oh, I already know it's gonna fail. But you take a portion and you stretch it out really thin and then you hold it up to the light. And if you can see the light coming through it, so this is really close. If you can see the light coming through it like a window without the dough breaking or ripping, then you're good. You've built enough elasticity, but I'm not quite there yet. So just a little bit more. Again. Oh yeah, that's nice and thin before it broke. Okay. Here, a little. So now we need to leave this to rest. I'm going to take the bowl that we used earlier. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in so it doesn't stick to the bowl. And I'm going to put the dough back in. A little oil. Now we take our dough, put it right back in the middle. And then you can either cover this with a tea towel or saran wrap, kind of whatever you want. It's really nice. This set of bowls came with lids, so I just like to use the lids. And now we're gonna let it rest for the next hour-ish. Sometimes it's a little longer, sometimes it's not quite long. We leave it until it's doubled in size. So now we need to add these.
into halves. One's a little bit bigger. And there we go. And then each of these is going to get split into 3. It's probably like a cherry or something.
See you in another hour. Alrighty, now we have left these beauties to rise for another hour, and now they're just about ready to go into the oven, but we got to put a little egg wash on them. So this is just an egg. You could water it down a little. I think that's probably what a lot of people do, but I like it where it is just egg. It makes it really shiny, makes it a very nice golden brown. But I'm gonna try to get it all over the tops of these. Without pressing too hard on each of the tea cakes and making them lose any of their air. So then, once these are all egg washed up, we'll stick them in the oven. I think it's for like 15 minutes. I'll double check the recipe. And the next time you see these bad boys, they will be baked to golden brown perfection. Perfection, perfection, perfection. So, I'll see you then. And look at these. They are done and baked to perfection. Some of them are a little bigger than others, but there's nothing wrong with that. Some of them got a little toastier on the bottom than others, but again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're counting, yes, there are only 11. I have already sampled one with my partner, and he found they were delicious. I found they were also delicious. Maybe just a touch lacking on the cinnamon. So, thank you for joining me in baking these tea cakes. I had a great time. Honestly, don't be surprised if you see more baking videos like this from me. Oh, this one has a little, probably a cherry and a cranberry trying to escape. But yeah, don't be surprised if you see more of this style of content from me. This is Neighbor Moss, by the way, if you couldn't tell already. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening. I hope life is wonderful and treats you well, because you deserve good things. So, be kind to yourself and to others, and eat something delicious when you have a chance.